Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yours truly, Diblery. Hello, YouTube. Yours truly, Diblery. Hello, TikTok. UNA University. Yours truly, Diva. Diblery in the house. UNA. We got a wonderful session coming up today. UNA University, where the real money at. That's what we're talking about today. Where the real money at. Where the real money at. All right, where the real money is. We're going to be proper with it. Where the real money is. Where the real money is. Where the real money is. We're going to go into it today. Where the real money is. I'm yours truly, Diblery, for UNA University and UNARepublic. Welcome. Hello, Diva. Yeah, welcome everybody. Victor, Faye, all my other people coming in the house with your TikTok names. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Today we have an open session. We're here March 8th, 2023. And we're going to go into this session today where the real money is. All right. Where the real money is. Now, I want to go into this session because we need to start recognizing some things. A lot of people have people fearing. They're putting out this negative information about what's going on. I want to give you some insight on where the real money is. Now, I want to say, I want y'all to like and share, first of all. All my people in TikTok, please subscribe. My people in TikTok, please follow, like, and share. And my people in YouTube land, please subscribe, like, and share, and love. Now, I want to say this. We're going into our spring season 2023. We're ending. Today is my last class for my advanced students. My advanced students in the winter session 2023. They've been a wonderful class, a wonderful group of students, just a beautiful whole season, winter 2023, and we're continuing to build. So I want to say thank you to all my students. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'm going on vacation after my session today. But I am going to be reaching out to those of you all who have left messages for consultations with us. So if you're wanting to join the UNA University, please send the message. You all can find the link in the inbox, okay? And today we've got a really power-packed seminar, a session that I want you all to pay attention. I told y'all when y'all sit down and you see Diblery show up, you better get you a pen and some paper and take notes because we're going to go through it today. Now, with that being said, next season starts. We're going to start enrolling next week for the spring season, which starts in the middle of April 15th, somewhere around there, between the 13th and the 15th, because we have 3 wonderful sessions coming up. One is Back to Basics, because that's our most requested seminar, Back to Basics. We have Business Asset Management, which is an intermediate course. And we have my favorite, which is returning self-mastery, history and self-mastery. So we're going deep into it. And I want y'all to be aware that UNA University is just that. It is a full-fledged university where we are teaching you things that lawyers don't know, judges don't know, accountants don't know. And even if these lawyers did know the information, they couldn't tell you and they couldn't help you with it anyway. All right. So I want you all to pay attention as we're going through this and make note that UNA University is that full-fledged university where you're learning things that you're not going to get in a accredited college. You're not going to get this information. So what do I teach? Thank you, Wayne, for that question. All laws, whether we're talking about the universal law, which is the highest laws, or we're talking about maxims of law dealing with God's law. We're talking about common law, aka contract law. We're talking about treaties, constitutions, federal codes. That's as far down as we go, because anything that's not in harmony with what God says, we don't deal with it. And so when you're talking about a code, statute, and ordinance coming from the state, that's not in harmony with God's law, because God doesn't tell you that there are things that you can't do. All right. So we deal with all laws here. So thank you for that question. I want to welcome everybody, Wayne and Chef, uh, Cali Boy. Who else we got? Sunset Beach in the house. All right. So thank you all for joining. All right. So now let's get into this session. Where the real money is. All right. Where the real money is. Let's get into it. So now, first of all, we always hear what the real money is gold and silver. Let me clue you in. That is not the real money. I'm going to say it again. Silver and gold are not the real money. And so let me explain this. And if you're paying attention and you're taking notes, this is going to be some very important information for you so that you can recognize the advantage that's going on in this system. So you hear people constantly talk about, oh, well, we went off the gold standard and now the dollar ain't worth nothing and blah, blah, blah. And then we want to go back on the gold standard and everything going to be back on the gold standard. Well, let me hip you to something. Do you have gold stashed up somewhere underground, under your bed, or wherever you want to put it? If you don't, then that system is not going to work any better for you than the fiat system. You have to learn what money truly is. And it's important that you recognize what's going on in this system. When people are telling you that gold is the real money, it's really not. And we're going to find out what the real money is. All right. So people tend to think that things that are tangible, like, oh, this is the real, everything in this, this is real, this pen, this is cell phone, this is real. But this is not. If it's tangible, that means that it's in the past. It's not real money. And I'm going to explain to you. So when we're talking about where the real money is, I'm going to take you back to a verse. And that verse is John 1. All right. John 1. And it says, in the beginning, there was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. Where the real money is. It's in the Word. Now, what am I talking? What is Diva Laree talking about? The words, Diva? What you talking about? The words. The Word is where the real money is. And when I speak about the Word now, I'm talking about the contract. That's the real money, the contract. So I'm going to give you an example because it's right here in your face and you're not recognizing where the real money is. So when we went off the gold standard, first of all, let's understand this before we even got into a gold standard. The original people of the land were trading IOUs. All right. They were trading IOUs. So when somebody would do some work for somebody, then they would be paid via, I owe you this, blah. And that was it. Grand evening to SME bartering. Bartering, yes, thank you, and IOUs. So now what happened is when the people who were coming into the land, they saw that the land was rich with gold. And so they started telling the people, you know what, no, we don't want no IOU. Just give me some gold. Pay me in gold. This is where these gold standards, the gold standard came into play in this land. And I'm telling you about this land. The gold standard came into play after the people who were wanting to steal the gold were here for the gold in the first place. they said, hey, just pay us in the gold and the silver. And so this gold and silver became heavy for people to be carrying it around. So then these banks come into play and they say, hey, let us hold your gold for you. All right. And then we're going to give you these checks or money items or money instruments. Let me rephrase this: paper instruments, so that you can write your check based on how much gold you have in this bank. So then people are writing their checks, and of course, their checks are backed by the gold that was in these banks. All right. Then here comes the United States Corporation. And I need y'all to pay attention now and write this down, because when you read this, they're going to call it a government, but it's not. It was the United States Corporation that borrowed this gold belonging to the people of the land. Well, when the United States Corporation, what you talking about? The United States Corporation, diva? It ain't. It's the United States government. No. For those of y'all who don't know, go and find us on YouTube. On YouTube at UNARepublic. Under UNARepublic, you're going to find this document titled The United States versus the U.S. Corporation. Well, the U.S. Corporation is owned by Britain, and there's a U.S. corporation that has nothing to do with America, and it's only set up in the land we know of as Washington, D.C. Y'all pay attention and take notes. Pay attention and take notes. And I want y'all to understand, Diva LaRue don't give you nothing but facts. I'm not telling you my opinion about nothing. I don't even like to give my opinion. I want to tell you what the facts are so you can go and look them up for yourself. All right. So that's why you take notes. So you're going to look it up for yourself. Now, what we're talking about here is the fact that this United States Corporation is set up in this land that we know of as Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is not a state. It is a land that is a neutral territory set up by the United States Constitution, or let me rephrase that, the organic Constitution for the United States of America. That was set up. And when that Constitution was set up, it established Washington, D.C., or this land known as Washington, D.C. today, as a neutral territory. Well, Britain came in and set up another organization called the United States to purposely steal the authority from the United States of America, the true government. All right, pay attention now. I'm just giving y'all a heads up so you can understand the history first. And then we're going to go into where the real money at, or what real money is. All right. So what happens is you've got this United States corporation that has borrowed the gold from these banks, and in borrowing that gold, they never returned the gold. So this is when that whole stuff went down in 1933, where the United States Corporation is borrowing the gold of the people, and then they giving the people these crappy notes. They're giving them some bills, and the people is like, wait a minute, this is great, but you can have this back. I want my gold. Well, the people started going after their gold because they started to lose faith in these paper instruments that the banks were giving them. So what happens is the banks have loaned out their gold to the United States Corporation. The United States Corporation has not returned the gold. And so they're giving the banks these paper notes, and then the banks are selling these to the people, and the people's like, no, I want my gold back. Take this paper, give me my gold. Well, they didn't have the gold. And so then there's this run on the bank. This is why there was that run on the bank in 1933, or somewhere in the early 1900s. There's a run on the bank because the people was like, I don't want this paper no more. I want my gold. And they didn't have it because they had given it away to the United States Corporation. That's the very same corporation that y'all know of today and y'all paying taxes to today, that has no allegiance to this land at all. It's a foreign entity owned by Britain. All right. So now, getting into this now. So what happens is 1933, we go off of the gold standard, where now it has been established by law that there is no more money to pay any bills. Money, the only real money that they considered real money was gold and silver. And there is no more gold and silver because these people have stolen it all. United States Corporation. All right. And so now they are indebted to the people. But what happened is they create this Social Security number that comes from the birth certificate. Birth certificate is a financial instrument. All right. So what has happened now is that when your mother signed the birth certificate, she became part owner of the United States Corporation. Yeah. And you are the beneficiary, because when she signed that birth certificate, it was worth money. So now your signature is worth the money. Your signature is worth the money. So she signs this contract, and funds are transferred unbeknownst to your mother and you. And now you, as the beneficiary, and your mother, who's created this trust, are part owner of the U.S. corporation. But they tell you that you're the one who's supposed to pay the bill, when no, really, it's the United States corporation that's indebted to you and everybody else who's born in this land. They're indebted. So now let's get into this. Now we understand what happened, why we ended up going off of the so-called gold standard. And I need y'all to understand the magic that happened, because we only just returned to where we started from the beginning, because we were not trading no gold and silver from the beginning. It was all IOUs. Well, we back to that point. Well, what's the magic, Diva? Why is this so great? Listen, again, if you don't have gold, then the last thing you want to be hoping for is a gold standard to come back into play. Because right now, this is the opportunity for wealth to transfer to where it's supposed to be. Those with knowledge. Right now, this is the opportunity for wealth to transfer to where it's supposed to be. And that is those people with knowledge. So let's understand what happened when this came about. Because y'all keep thinking that the money is in gold and silver and in these tangible things. But again, going back to the highest law, universal law, the word is where the money is. In the beginning, there was the word. And the word was with God, and the word was God. Now, I want y'all to understand something that has been going on in your face, for those of you all who are not aware. All right, so let's get into it. I'm going to give you the first example and exhibit number one. Exhibit number one. If you've ever had a mortgage, let's say your mortgage is $200,000. All right. So what's going to happen is they're going to attach via what we know of as a bond, a contract to your house. Now your house is said to be worth $200,000. $200,000 is what your house is said to be worth. All right, now, this contract that's attached to your house via a bond. Now let's understand what a bond does. All right. A bond is going to join two dissimilar things. Once again, I hope y'all taking notes, because I'm dropping jewels, baby. Diva dropping jewels. Take notes. All right. So a bond is going to join two dissimilar things. It's going to join your house with this contract. Words. It's going to join your physical entity with this spiritual document. Y'all don't think it's spiritual. It's just a contract. It's just some words. No, it's spiritual. It's words. It's very powerful. These words are far more powerful than this house. And I'm going to tell you why and show you in a second. Your house is over here worth $200,000. This contract says $200,000. There's a bond in between it that joins these two things together. This physical entity with this spiritual entity, which is called a contract. All right. So now let's go on down the line 3, 4, 5, 20 years later. By the time you get finished paying off this $200,000 house, you will have paid $400,000, $500,000 by the end of that mortgage. Let me say it again. Your house is worth $200,000, but these words are worth $400,000, $500,000 at the end of this term. I need y'all to understand this contract with these words are more valuable than the house. Not to mention, watch this now, they're going to take this contract, and this contract is going to go on the stock market. This thing is going to be worth millions because you put a signature on it. Because you put a signature on it, this thing, when it matures after, let's just say 3 years, it's worth $5 million. The contract these words, it's going to be worth $5 million because it's got your signature on it. So let's talk about what happens there real quick. If y'all not getting it, I'm just letting you know. In the beginning, there was the word. That's where the real money is. This is just exhibit 1. I got 2 more for you, all in your face. Let's talk about what happens with the contract. All right. So what's going on the stock market is that this contract that you sign, it gets sold. Now, see, this is why we know how to help you get out of your mortgage contract, car note, credit card bills. Same thing, so pay attention. What happens is when you sign those contracts, you turned over $200,000 to the bank. Now, they're going to pretend like you owe them, when the truth is you already paid for the house in full as soon as you sign. All right, but they're not going to tell you that, because what they're going to do, they're pretending like you owe them money. They're going to take this instrument, because this is an instrument now. All those papers you sign in mortgage, really, every time you were signing, you would make $1 million purchase, but we ain't going to go into that, because you know, if you ever had a mortgage, you know you signing a whole bunch of documents thicker than this book right here. So what's going to happen is they're going to tell you this was $200,000. Then what they're going to do is go on the stock market and they'll say, hey, we got this document. I'm going to sell this for $400,000. If you want to buy this contract, it's $400,000. And if you hold on to it for the whole 3 years, you can get $5 million. Who wants it? Well, somebody's going to take them up on this offer because they got the money sitting around. So they're going to pay $400,000 for this instrument. And then it's going to go to them. And then they're going to have this instrument for $400,000. They're like, well, I want to sell this thing. I wonder if I can sell this thing for because I want to be liquid 500,000 or let me see if I can sell it for 700,000. So then they're going to take this instrument and they're going to go on the market. Hey, I'm selling this instrument for $700,000. If you hold on to it to the maturity of 3 years, then you can get $1 million. So you subtract that. So that's whether you can get $5 million. That's $5 million. $5 million minus the $700,000 was that's $4,300,000. That's a good deal. I'm gonna take that. So somebody else is gonna buy this now. And let me help y'all understand. Every time this thing gets sold, it's the same thing. That's what the mortgage companies are doing. This is what they're doing. When they go, well, such and such, you're not with this mortgage company anymore. We switched it, and your contract has been sold to such and such. What that means, the contract has been paid off. That means that you don't have a debt anymore. But because you don't know law, because you get ready to learn law, because you're coming into the university. All right, this is what happens. All right, this is why you got to know law so that these people can stop taking advantage of you. But it's been sold. Every time they change mortgage companies, every time this thing gets sold, your debt has been paid. All right, but they're not telling you, because the stock market is different from the federal government, which is where they're getting all the money from in the first place. I'm not going deep into that, but this is why you need to come into the university so you can understand the game. All right. So now you're understanding how so much money is being made off of this house. Meanwhile, here's this contract worth $5 million. 3 years later, and 3 years later, your house is still worth $200,000. Maybe it went up a $10,000 or $20,000 because you put an addition on. But this thing over here, this $5 million versus your $200,000 house. These words is where the money is. Exhibit number 2. Everybody is taken by the Bitcoin. Oh, the Bitcoin, and everybody was excited. The Bitcoin went up to $40,000 at one time. $40,000. Meanwhile, you can't lay your eyeballs on a Bitcoin. It has no physical existence whatsoever. This Bitcoin is words. So you mean to tell me gold and silver is the real money, but a non-tangible Bitcoin right now, and I looked it up, a non-tangible Bitcoin is worth $22,000. Non-tangible meaning you can't touch it. It is just a contract. All right. Meanwhile, gold, that physical thing, 1 ounce of gold, a bar of gold, it's only worth $1,900. Really, I rounded that up. We can round it up. Let's go ahead and round it up to $2,000 because it's really only at 1,800 and something. But an ounce of gold that's supposed to be real money is only worth $1,900, $2,000. Whereas a Bitcoin that has no physical presence is worth $22,000. That's 11 times this ounce of gold that everybody think is money. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong when I'm letting you know that the word is where the real money is. In the beginning, there was the word. What am I talking about? Do you know how to write a contract? Do you know how to write a contract? Exhibit 3. Exhibit 3. All right. And by the way, while I'm pulling out this exhibit, I want y'all to like and share. All of my people in TikTok, y'all like and share. Thank you all for joining, and thank you for sharing, and thank you for subscribing. All my people in TikTok, like and share. And if you have any questions or comments, I want to hear them. And I want y'all to be aware, we have intelligent people in this room. Intelligent. And so be sure that if you're putting up any kind of words or anything you're saying, make it intelligent. Because those are the only type of people we deal with in this room. TikTok, I love y'all. YouTube, I love you. All right. Exhibit 3. This right here is an ounce of silver. One of you all can see it. That's silver. Showing my YouTube people. TikTok. This is an ounce of silver. All right. This is a UNA love note. All right. This is a UNA love note. And this is an ounce of silver. Now, what's the difference? This is a person. This one is just an ounce of silver. This is not a precious metal, but this is more valuable than this. I'm going to say it again. This is a precious metal. This one is not. This is just an ounce of silver. This is a person. Legally, this is a person. See that? See that number there? There's a number there. All right. This has a contract associated with it. This one has words associated with it. It has a story associated with it. It's got a history. This is a person. This is just a physical ounce of silver. This is more valuable. This is at least 2 times more than this silver. And this is not even a precious metal. So when I say to you, I'm making it clear, gold and silver is not the real money. The real money is the word. When you know how to create contracts, when you understand how to operate. So when we went off the gold standard, I'm letting you know that it gave those of us who have knowledge of law, it gave us a leg up. This is a UNA love note. It has more value than this silver ounce because this is a person. This is not. This has a contract. This has words associated with it. This one does not. The value of this, let me see it real quick. Normally it fluctuates between, and I'm just saying, it fluctuates between $22 and $25. I don't know where it is now, but it normally fluctuates between $22 and $25. This is at least twice that value. This is a UNA love note. All right. So I'm letting you know right now that once again, it's all in the words. This is why it's very important to know how to write contracts. I'm going to give you another example. Why would, for example, Martin Luther King's house be more valuable than the house next door? Why? It would be more valuable because of the story associated with it. There's a story with that house. I'm going to create a story. What is this story saying? That Martin Luther King lived here at the age of blah, 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 with his mother and his sisters and his brothers and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, you got this house over here. The only thing that gives it value is the story or these words. That's what gives it value. It's important to understand where the true money is. All right. If y'all have any questions, any comments, all my intelligent people, I love you. If you're not, get out of my house. All right. My people in YouTube, I love you. Halo. All right. So now let's get on to this. The next topic I want to get into. Actually, I don't have time to get into it. I got to go to class. Let me see if I can answer some questions before I get out of here. Hopefully we'll be able to come back. I told y'all I'm going on vacation. So hopefully I'll be able to do some more sessions while I'm on vacation. If not, then I'm going to catch y'all when I get back. All right, let's see. If anybody has any questions, let me know. And I want to, once again, before I get out of here, invite you all to, you can visit us on UNARepublic.com if you want more information. That's got we haven't updated it yet for our new sessions, but we will be doing that shortly. And also you can send us a message in the inbox All right, if you're wanting to have a consultation to join the university. Rhythm says we are under a credit system. We are the creditors, not the debtors. Uh, yeah, we are. We are the creditors now. So they made us believe that we were debtors. And now that we have knowledge, no, we are the creditors. We always were the creditors. And now once you come out of that mindset that we have been taught, you can be the creditor that you're supposed to be. Some SMM, thank you for joining, says that is how the income tax started back in 1913. That's right. Thank you. Some Rhythm says we under the crown. We not under the crown, Rhythm. They under the crown. We are way out from under that because we've taken back our knowledge. Sino says I'm taking notes. All right, Sino, thank you for taking notes. Let's see. And by the way, if there's something you miss here, you can always get the full version of our sessions on YouTube under UNARepublic. So please visit us there. Let's see. And I want y'all to make sure you like and share and subscribe on TikTok and YouTube. Rhythm says facts. All right, Rhythm. That's right. All I give is facts here. So if you want to know the facts, so you can develop your own truth, make sure you go and check us out on YouTube at UNARepublic. Layman says word with force of the state. Words with force of the state. Let me tell you something, Lamont. We don't deal with the state. Our words are forced by God. So when you put them out there, understand what federal means. Federal means a contract with God. So that's who we deal with God. And that's where you want to stand, and it is above the state. Mindful says security agreement. Absolutely, Mindful. That's those words. Security agreement. Money says I'm not sure what that was, but thank you for joining, Money. Rhythm says, how do I find my CUSIP number? Rhythm, you need to join the school so we can go through all that. Mindful says facts. Thank you, Mindful. Mindful says endorsement. That's right. When you sit down at the table and you're you're signing all of these contracts, you're creating financial instruments. You're creating checks. And the problem is you never endorse your checks. So if you don't endorse your checks, it's like you're turning over a gift of $200,000, and they're going to endorse it and say you gave them a gift. Oh, well, look at what she left me, all these $200,000 worth of checks. Yeah, they're gonna use them for themselves. So we learn to endorse. What's the price to join Grand Queendom? I want you to send a message so we can give you a consultation. We'll go over all of that because we do have a financing program that we make it affordable for everybody. Nicole says facts. Young says facts. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for joining. Let's see, Tuki, Grand Queen. Thank you for sharing. Lamont, Daddy Long says doesn't make sense. That's because you need Daddy, you need to come into class. All right. That's why it doesn't make sense to you. Danny says so true. Thank you, Danny. Money says okay. Tab Boss. Let's see who else. Thank you for joining. Bobby 20 Love More. Thank you for joining. Derek says anyone know how to do the SPC? So for those of y'all who don't know, SPC stands for Secured Party Creditor. And that's what we deal with in the university. We're taking you through all of the steps. And once again, this is a full-fledged university. You're learning things that lawyers don't know, accountants don't know. And even if they did know, they couldn't tell you because, especially when we're talking about lawyers, they get disbarred. So they're not supposed to know this stuff because then once you know this stuff, you can free yourself. Secure party creditor or a national, American national or sovereign. Sovereigns, they're all sovereigns. They're meaning they're under a different jurisdiction than the state. How can you owe someone if someone paid your debt? That's right, Danny. Who else? The Dark Side, thank you for joining. Williams, thank you for joining. User says, what kind of contract can we write? User, When you sit down and you start wielding your pen, you can write all kind of contracts to get rid of your mortgage, to get rid of your car note, to get rid of your credit card, student loans, whatever. Charles says, okay, I got you. I see what you mean. Good. Thank you. Still, thank you for joining. User says Bitcoin, Jamel, Terry. Hello, Terry. Money says his signature. Thank you for joining. Anthony, Cheryl, it is equity. That's correct. Cheryl, thank you for joining. Or Cherry. Let's see, Spice and Cowboy says how to get the contracts. Cowboy, you need to join the university. Love More says how do you move or transact without fiat? Love, I tell you what, you need to join a university, because when you understand the game, then you're going to start learning how to do alchemy. All right. We learn how to turn nothing into something. I can make this pen be whatever value I want it to be when I attach a contract to it and turn it into a person. You don't understand that until you join the university. All right. User says Jedi mind trick. Yeah, I got some Jedi mind tricks for you. Still says, what is truff? I don't know what that means. Restricted endorsement. Thank you. See, I got some intelligent people in here. Thank you, MC Reels. Danny says, I never trusted Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. If you know contracts, then you can do what Bitcoin did, then some. All right. It's all about contracts, because that's all Bitcoin is. It's a contract. All right. So they're stacking these different contracts up on top of each other. That's what the blockchain is. All right. Where they're stacking these different contracts up. So you're going to learn it. Come into the university. I want y'all to know I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for your attentiveness and taking notes. Y'all are the bomb. Okay, so we're going to see you all next time. I'm not sure. Let me see. What is today? Wednesday. Friday. Look for us Friday at 7 p.m. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I love you. Thank you for taking notes. Please continue to study. I'm telling you, I'm dropping bombs. Diva dropping bombs. Diva dropping jewels. Go to UNA University or UNARepublic.com and find us on UNARepublic on YouTube. All right. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace. Diva. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.